Good morning. I'll go ahead and call to order the Comprehensive Plan Amendment and Zoning Hearing meeting for Wednesday, August 19th, 2020. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated. Commissioner Mann has notified me that he'll be absent for this morning's meeting. Let's begin with our first case. It's the Central Park Mixed-Use Overlay Adoption. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'm Mickey Rosdolski with Community Development. Your first case today is CPA 2019-00010. It's a privately initiated amendment known as Central Park Mixed-Use Overlay. This is a small-scale amendment, which means that this is the only hearing required to adopt it. The request is to add 6.4 acres of property to the mixed-use overlay. The property is located just south of Cypress Lakes Plaza, and extending the mixed-use overlay onto this property encourages appropriately located infill development and meets the criteria for expanding the overlay provided in the LEA plan. Both staff and the LPA found the request consistent with the LEA plan and recommend that the board adopt the amendment as provided in the staff report. Staff and the applicant are here to answer any questions.
Good deal. Do we have any questions for our staff at all? No? Okay. Does the applicant wish to make a presentation this morning? Good deal.
Good morning. I do have a full presentation. However, the LPA and staff did recommend that the Board of County Commissioners adopt the amendment, and Mickey did a great job explaining what we're trying to do, so I'm available to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, commissioners? Okay, seeing none, let's move to public comment. Does anybody wish to speak in public comment on the first case, the Central Park Mixed-Use Overlay? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment.
The item.
Motion for approval from Commissioner Manning. Do we have a second from Commissioner Pendergrass? Any further discussion? Are there any objections? No objections. That motion carries unanimously. All right, next case.
Your second case is DCI 2020-00003, the Schultz Road Minor RPD. This is a request to rezone a little over almost 8 acres from AG2 to residential plan development to allow up to 4 single-family homes with a maximum height of 35 feet. The hearing examiner recommended approval with conditions and issued a clarification memo with revisions to condition number 2, which is the approved schedule of uses and site development regulations. The applicant and staff do request that the revisions offered by the hearing examiner be included in your motion of approval. There are no participants of record. Staff and the applicant are available to address any questions you might have.
Thank you very much. Any questions, commissioners, on this? Okay, seeing none, does the applicant wish to make a presentation? Okay, very good. We have no participants of record. Commissioners, does somebody wish to make a motion for approval inclusive of the clarification memo? Motion from Commissioner Manning. Do we have a second? Second from Commissioner Sandelli. Any discussion?
I have a question.
Yeah, Commissioner Pendergrass.
So is the lots going to be on the water side, or are they going to be on the smaller, thinner access? Is that going to be like a road access? Audrey knows. I know the property very well. I've watched this be developed as a kid years ago, so it's a beautiful piece of property. I was just curious what the layout's going to be for the future.
The lots are on the water side.
They're on the water, yeah. Okay, thank you.
Very good. All right, any further questions or discussion? All right, seeing none, are there any objections to the motion? There are no objections. That motion carries unanimously. Our next case.
Your next case is a request for relief for Red Bones Out East, case number RFR 2020-00001. The county attorney will make a presentation on this case.
Good morning, Commissioners. Michael Jacob, Deputy County Attorney. Just wanted to go briefly over this process. As most of you are aware, the 7051 process provides the board with an opportunity under state statute to review an applicant's request for relief and issue additional relief if necessary, or uphold decisions of either the previous board's decision or the hearing examiner. In this case, there were requests for special exceptions and variances from the hearing examiner. You have not heard this case, so this is a new one. This is a little different than the previous request for relief because you haven't heard it. The special exception was denied along with a couple variances. There was 5 total. 3 were recommended approval by the hearing examiner, 2 were not. The case came back to the special magistrate last month, the special magistrate received requests for relief information and the changes and conditions proposed by the applicant and staff, and found that the requested changes met the reasons for why the hearing examiner denied the special exception and 2 of the variances. In short, the hearing examiner denied the request for special exception because the applicant did not meet 2 variance criteria. The applicant, after meeting with staff and the county attorney's office, made changes to the requested relief and the application, and what ended up with is the need for variances went away. And because of that, staff, the county attorney's office, and the special magistrate's recommendation found that the revised request was responsive to the hearing examiner's basis for denial, and we recommend that you approve the special magistrate's recommendation with proposed conditions and approval of the special exception.
So let me just clarify, Michael, so the county attorney's office and our staff are both recommending approval of the magistrate's recommendation?
That is correct.
Okay. And is this one open to public comment?
It is open to the public. There were no members of the public that participated in the special magistrate proceeding, but it is open to the public today.
Okay, very good. Do we have questions for our staff, commissioners? Commissioner Sandelli?
Explain to me, just on variance 1, it says to allow 23.4% open space with no public open space. And I'm just trying to reconcile that myself.
Okay. Who wants to take that one, staff or Michael?
Briefly, there were 3 variances that were approved by the hearing examiner. I believe you're referring to one of those was recommendation of approval. And as far as the specifics, how it went from 30% to 23, are you looking for that information?
Well, I just didn't understand the wording, because in variance 1, it says to allow 23.4% open space with no public open space. I was just trying to understand.
Yeah, I don't know that one.
Sure.
Is your mic on, Nikki, too?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
The language that you're referring to about the open space and the public open space is language specific to that community plan area, and there's still going to be open space that the public could use. It's just not going to be like a courtyard or a defined civic space.
Okay. Okay.
They'll have access to this, won't have tables set up and actually be using it for that facility.
Correct.
Okay.
It will be like green open space that you typically think.
I read it a couple times. I was trying to make sure it was clear. Thank you.
Okay, any further questions for our staff or our county attorney? Okay, seeing none, at this time I'd like to open it up for public comment. Did anybody come to speak in public comment on the Red Bones case today? Okay, great. Come forward. Morning.
Good morning. For the record, Matt Yulee representing the applicant in this case.
Oh, good.
I just wanted to let you know that this case does have a bit of a complicated history, but the bottom line is that the COP is absolutely essential to the operation of this business. It probably won't survive without it. There was never any public opposition to it, either at the hearing examiner hearing or at the special magistrate hearing. And there's actually a petition with about 500 signatures supporting it. So this isn't really an issue where the public has been agitated about the compatibility or not. In response to the question about the open space, that's not really on the table today because the hearing examiner already approved it. But the bottom line was that it was approved because it was an existing condition. It's the way that the property was approved. That's the way it is today. And the variance was requested in response to changes to the regulations that took place after the property was developed. So it was just confirming the existing condition.
Excellent. Good deal. Do we have any questions for the applicant? Okay, thank you. Mr. Udley, thank you very much for coming. Anybody else wish to speak in public comment on the Red Bones case today? Okay, seeing none, I'll close public comment.
I'll move approval subject to the deviations by the hearing examiner.
Okay, so the motion for approval is for the special magistrate's recommendation? Okay, very good. And do we have a second for that?
Second.
Second from Commissioner Sandelli. All right, do we have any further discussion on that item? Okay, seeing none, are there any objections? No objections, that motion carries unanimously. Very good. All right, and our final case for today.
Your final case is DCI 2019-00007, Old Corkscrew Golf Club Commercial. This is a request to rezone approximately 2.88 acres from AG2 to PRFPD to adjust the boundary of the Old Corkscrew Golf Club PRFPD to include those 2.88 acres, and to also amend the PRFPD to allow up to 100,000 square feet of commercial retail uses on a tract formerly designed for timeshare use. The hearing examiner has recommended approval with conditions. There are 7 participants of record for the case, and staff and the applicant are here to answer any questions.
Okay, what questions do we have? Any? No? So you said it was formerly designed for timeshare use, and now we're looking at switching it to commercial.
Correct.
Okay, very good. Anything else for our staff? No? Does the applicant wish to make a presentation? Anybody want to hear or questions from the applicant?
Good.
All right. At this time, then, we'll begin calling the participants of record, and if anything's brought up, we'll give the applicant a chance to rebut those things. Lucas Browning? Nope. John Durango? John? Alan Dyer? Morning. Morning.
My name is Alan Dyer, and I'm a resident at the place at Corkscrew. And we look forward, been watching this, been to most of the sessions, and we look forward to having commercial development across the street. It's really needed in the area. If you live on Corkscrew, you know that. So we look forward to your approval of it.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your comments this morning. All right, Jeff Gaudette? Okay, how about Don Howard? And Mark Owinski? Mark? Are you Mark coming up to speak?
Yeah, that's him.
Awesome. Okay. I thought you looked familiar. Morning.
Good morning. Just stepped in. Thank you very much for your service, gentlemen, and really commend all of you on smart growth in the county. Raised my family here for the last 30 years, and this is going to be a tremendous asset to that area. And thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for your comments this morning. And finally, Zane Skiles. Zane?
Good morning. I'm Zane Skiles. I'm actually also a resident of the place, which is virtually right across the road from Old Corkscrew and from the cottages and the parcel that's being reviewed and hopefully approved here. I know several residents in my community, in my cul-de-sac, would really enjoy having additional close-by retail and have the convenience and the safety of knowing they don't have to travel 7 miles, which doesn't sound like a lot for some folks, but down Corkscrew can be sometimes tedious. So I'd appreciate for the safety of our community as well as the convenience and the public's demand if you would approve this. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming this morning. Very good. Does the applicant wish to talk about anything or rebut anything?
No, we're still good if you're good.
Okay, very good. Any further questions? Commissioner Pendergrass?
I move the item with the staff and the hearing examiner's recommendations.
Second.
Motion for approval from Commissioner Pendergrass, and the second is from Commissioner Manning. Any further discussion on this item? Okay, seeing none, are there any objections? No objections, that motion carries, and we have no further business before us, so we're adjourned. Congratulations.